DJI just released a new mic, which you may well be interested in, especially if you know about the HoloLens Lark M2, because one of the most loved traits of the Lark M2 is its small, compact size. If you ever wished that the DJI Mic 2 was smaller, well now you've got the DJI Mic Mini. However, this isn't a replacement for the DJI Mic 2 because there are certain features that the DJI Mic Mini doesn't have in comparison to the DJI Mic 2. But if you know me and how I vlog, when I use any DJI action camera or the Osmo Pocket 3, the biggest bonus in using the DJI Mic 2 is the direct Bluetooth connection. And with the DJI Mic Mini, you get the same functionality. So in this video, I'm just going to highlight what the DJI Mic Mini has in comparison to what the DJI Mic 2 doesn't have, and also try and help you figure out whether you want to go for the DJI Mic 2 with your Osmo Action 4, Osmo Action 5 Pro or Pocket 3, or whether the new DJI Mic Mini is going to be the perfect option for you instead. So as I mentioned, this mic is tiny, just like the HoloLens Lark M2. And I will do a separate comparison video between the two mics because I think these two mics are probably going to end up being in direct competition with each other for obvious reasons. So yeah, in terms of size, these mics are truly mini, especially when you compare them to the size of the DJI Mic 2 transmitters as well. That also goes for the case and receiver for the DJI Mic Mini. Both of them have much smaller footprints. The Mic Mini receiver also doesn't have the OLED display that the DJI Mic 2 has, but it does have this handy gain dial so that you can easily adjust the gain on the fly. And just coming back to the case as well, with the DJI Mic Mini, you can actually now close the case with the wind muffs attached to the transmitters and keep the TRS to TRS cable inside the case, or even the charging cable, both of which you can't do with the DJI Mic 2 as there's not enough space in the main case. So in terms of the case with the Mic Mini and the DJI Mic 2, both of the cases charge the transmitter and the receiver, and with the Mic Mini, you're going to get about 11.5 hours from the transmitter in terms of runtime, according to DJI. But with the DJI Mic 2, then you're going to get about 6 hours of runtime from the transmitters. But for both, when you put the transmitters back in the case, that's going to recharge the transmitters and extend the battery life until the case is completely depleted. What I will say though is that you're unlikely to need or even want the case if you're just going to be wanting to use one transmitter with the camera anyway. And the reason for that is because it comes with a little dock to charge the transmitter. But 11.5 hours from the DJI Mic Mini transmitter is probably going to be just enough for you to film all day anyway. Okay, so before I get on to how to actually connect the mics and the settings that you might want to use with the cameras, and also hear the difference between the Mic Mini and the Mic 2, I first want to let you know about a new feature that Motion Array has that can be quite useful for your videos. So Motion Array now has a voiceover feature which is really easy to use. You can preview a number of different voices that sound remarkably realistic. So because of the variety, there's likely going to be one that's going to fit your project extremely well, because once you've found the voice that you want to use and you've then written out the phrase that you want to create a voiceover for, and bear in mind, you get up to 2,000 characters. You can then tweak the voice a little until you're happy with the intonation or the speed and the emotion. You can also have the clip regenerated so that you can hear how it sounds in different ways. So if you didn't quite like how it sounded the first way, then you can regenerate it and listen to it again, and just keep doing that until you find the way that it's said the best for how you want it to sound.
Motion Array has a new voiceover feature, which has loads of realistic sounding voices for any project if you don't have a voice actor to hand and you want to create something on your own.
And if you're going through all the voices you've generated and there's one you know that you don't like or you won't use, you can easily delete them to keep the voiceover library tidy. So once you've got your voiceover, you can actually head over to the music library and find the perfect track to go along with this, and you can search through thousands of titles, and you can also add any motion graphics or stock footage, and all of this can just be sourced from Motion Array. So with the link in the description, you can sign up for a free trial account that will give you access to their free assets, and if you want to have access to everything in Motion Array's catalogue, including the new AI voiceover feature, then the link in the description will give you $50 off. Otherwise, if you're just after the voiceover feature, you can also get that as a standalone plan. So yeah, I've dropped a link in the description, and thanks to Motion Array for sponsoring this video. So in terms of connecting your DJI Mic Mini to any of your DJI Osmo Action cameras or the Pocket 3, it's exactly the same as you would do for the DJI Mic 2. You'll need to go into the main menu of the camera find wireless mic, and then you'll see you've got TX1, TX2. So I've just got one transmitter at the moment, and I'm going to be pairing that transmitter. So at the moment it's flashing green, which means that it's actually paired to the receiver. So all I have to do is just double tap the link button to switch it over to blue, and that means that it's in Bluetooth pairing mode. Then tap TX1 on the camera, and then press and hold the link button on the Mic Mini. It'll start flashing, and then that's it, it's connected. And bear in mind that you can also connect two transmitters via direct Bluetooth connection to the Osmo Action 5 Pro and the Osmo Pocket 3. But with the Action 4, it's only one transmitter via direct Bluetooth connection. And if you're using the Osmo Action 3, then just like the DJI Mic 2, you'll need to use the receiver, as the Osmo Action 3 doesn't have a direct Bluetooth connection. Okay, so before I get on to how the audio quality sounds, this is how I get the mic set up with the Osmo Action 4, 5 or the Osmo Pocket 3. So in terms of the settings for the actual microphones, it's in the same place that you would find the camera settings. So over to the right hand side, you've got the camera settings icon and then the transmitter icon. And because I've got both of the microphones selected, I can see transmitter 1 and transmitter 2. If you are going to be having two transmitters, what you want to do is have them set to stereo so that each one records on its own separate track, which makes it easier in the edit. And then if you have one transmitter, then it will just be, you can just set it to mono. If you're doing voice, then that's going to be the best option for you. And then all I do is change the transmitter gain, because it does sound a little bit quiet on the Action 5, the Action 4 and the Pocket 3. So I tend to have my gain set to 6. And so I just go in, change that for both of the cameras, both of the microphones. And then if you also want to just engage the noise reduction on both of them, you can also do that in the camera. Okay, so throughout this video I've been using the DJI Mic Mini. I've got it connected here, it's kind of hidden in my scarf, but I've been using it throughout the video so far, and this is what the audio sounds like. You can hear for yourself, it sounds very good. I purposefully came to a place where there was a lot of noise, so there's constantly been traffic going up and down, just so that you could hear what the audio sounds like with a lot of ambient noise in the background. And I haven't actually engaged the noise reduction yet. I'll let you hear what that sounds like, but this just gives you an idea of what the audio sounds like just in general with a lot of background noise going on. And so, like I said, one of the ways that you can actually drown out some of that background noise is to enable the noise reduction on the microphone. You can also do this in the camera as well, which is going to trigger it on the mic. But I demonstrated in a previous video how this didn't sound too good with the DJI Mic 2, so I always kind of avoided using it with the Mic 2. However, with the Mic Mini, I did test this and I was actually quite impressed how the audio sounded with that noise reduction feature on. It is pretty loud at the moment. There's some some construction work going on somewhere, and there's cars coming by, kids screaming in the park, and at the moment I don't have noise reduction on, so I'm going to switch over to it. Okay, so this now has the noise reduction on, so I'm hoping that you can hear a difference, and it's cut out a lot of that ambient background noise that you could probably hear previously. But just to give you another idea, this now has the wind noise reduction off, and this is just what the audio is like without the wind noise reduction on. And I will put it on again just as this car's going by so that you can hear. Now it is on. I don't know if you can see the yellow light there, but that means that it's on. And so there's a car just going by now. So hopefully it cut that noise out, and it's cutting out the rest of the noise, but the audio, I'm hoping, still sounds clear. Okay, so now I've just switched over to the DJI Mic 2. Noise reduction isn't on. Again, same spot as before, obviously. And cars going by, and when another car comes by, I'll turn the noise reduction on. So cars going by now, noise reduction has now been switched on, and this is what the audio sounds like. If you just kind of remember how it sounded with the DJI Mic Mini. So this is noise reduction on, and now this is noise reduction off. and this is just how the audio is sounding. Another car going by, this is off, and then the noise reduction is now on again, just so that you can hear what the difference is and that you can hear what the audio sounds like. Listening back to those two clips, the DJI Mic Mini sounded so much better with the noise reduction on than the DJI Mic 2 did. Sounded really good actually. But the audio quality isn't the only thing that's different between the Mic Mini and the DJI Mic 2, and there's a feature that the Mic Mini doesn't have that the Mic 2 does have that might disappoint some of you, and it's also one of the reasons why you kind of have to look at the Mic Mini as kind of sitting alongside the Mic 2 and not a replacement for the Mic 2. So one of the features that I really like with the DJI Mic 2 is having the ability to have backup audio and to also record internally to the microphone as well. However, if that's a feature that you're kind of looking for in the DJI Mic 2, you're not going to be able to do it because it doesn't have 32-bit flow internal recording or otherwise, so you just can't record internally to those microphones. And when I asked DJI about this, the whole idea of the Mic Mini is that it's a very quick and easy plug and play option for people who don't necessarily want to fiddle around with audio. They just want something that's going to sound good, and yeah, they don't have to do anything else other than just plug in the mic or just connect to the mic and they're good to go. So that does kind of mean that if you like the feature with the Mic 2 where you can use audio to video sync, I think it's called something else in the Action 5 Pro now, but it gives you the ability to record a separate file whilst you're actually recording your video, and then you've just got that backup file. Then you can't do that with the Mic Mini, but you can still use the Mic Mini to start and stop recording just like you could with the DJI Mic 2. So if you press the link button on the Mic Mini, that's just going to allow you to start and stop your recording or take a video without actually having to press the record button on the camera. So that is very useful. There have been times where I've used that when I've been a little bit further away from the camera. I didn't want to have to keep getting up to move the position that I was in if I was sitting on a bench or something, for example. And so yeah, that is very useful. So I've dropped a link in the description for the DJI Mic Mini if you want to check it out. And if you're trying to decide between the Osmo Action 4 or the Action 5 Pro or the Pocket 3 because you're not quite sure which ones to get, then I suggest checking out any of these videos.